Remember, the first thing you got to do is you got to look at where you would start. If this said f of g of 2, we would go into the g of x function first. So I'm going to look there first. And when I look there, I realize that my little note for domain is that x minus 2 has to be greater than or equal to 0. So x must be greater than or equal to 0. That's my little note for domain at the beginning. Now I go do the problem. Now I'm actually going to complete this and put g of x into f of x. So this composite is going to be equivalent to replacing that x with root x minus 2, squaring it, and then adding 4. Well, when I simplify this, this just becomes x minus 2 plus 4, so that becomes x plus 2. Well, now I'm going to I can put this over here right now. That is the composite function. That's what that says. The composite function is equivalent to x plus 2. But I'm going to go back to red here because we need to think about domain. You think about domain at the beginning, where you start, and then where you finally end up. And this is actually just all real numbers. So what we're basically saying is everything works here, but wait, we can only have, I have no idea why I put a 0 up there. Sorry about that. That should be a 2. Got that? If you were really confused before, I wholeheartedly apologize. Add 2 to both sides, so we're good. So all reals, but this is a tougher restriction, so we have to consider that. So the domain of the problem would be bracket 2 to infinity, because if we have a number that's less than 2, we never would be able to start this problem. Okay? All right, so next problem, same idea. Now it's g of f of x. So I first look at f of x. And my note to myself is that all reals work. It's a very simple linear function there. All reals work. And then I do the problem. Okay, so now I take the entire f of x and I put that into g of x. So that's going to be equivalent to 2 times the opposite of x minus 4. So then very easy simplification is negative 2x minus 4. Switching to red, which means I'm talking about my domain. Again, just a linear function, so all reals work here. So that means the domain for this problem, when I consider both areas, is still all real numbers. We're good there. And then up here, g of f of x would be equivalent to negative 2x minus 4. All right, now this is the exact same functions here. It's just telling me to do something a little different. It's telling me to gog x, so take g of x first. Again, when I look there, my note is still all reals. Okay, try all these problems, but it's just still all reals. And then I go down and I'm like, all right, take g of x and put it into g of x. So that means 2x minus 4, I replace the x with 2x minus 4. I replace that x right there with 2x minus 4, but then I got to subtract 4 on the back end. So this is now equivalent to distribute through 4x minus 8 minus 4. So my final one here for my composite will be 4x minus 12. But looking at, I didn't do my color coordination, I'm really sorry there, but looking at my domain here, we are going to have all reals at the end on this one too. So that means, again, like the last problem, we have negative infinity to infinity.